Until this time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the Prime Minister is at the first anniversary ceremony of the city of Salama. The 21 sessions of the 15 kilometers of Djibouti Telecom. For the international scene, United Kingdom is opening a new chapter in its history. The associations of the Salama city organizes in Hungary to pump the first anniversary of the city, which courts almost 418 social apartments where families live in perfect harmony. The Salama city is a living spaces for all the national communities to live together in a pleasant settings and in a good atmosphere. So could consider it a success of the social housing policy initiated by the head of state Ismail Omar Guelleh and concentrate by the Minister of Housing. The ceremony of the first anniversary took place in the two parts. So yesterday is a special evening for women, sponsored by the Ministers of Housing. Amin Abdi was organized on the occasions of the first anniversary. This morning, the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, in the presence of the member of government, including Amina Abdi, Minister of Housing, and Minister of Women and Family, Moumina Mohamed Hassan, parliamentarian, the Mayor of Djibouti, the President of the Balbala Commune, Mr. Aden Mohamed Ahmed. The two events were organized by the Salama City Association on the Abdallah campus on the city, which the support of the Ministry of Housing of Djibouti City all and the RTD with a strong involvement of populations of the Salama City. The populations of Salama City came out in May to participate in the first anniversary ceremony and to welcome the delegations and Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed. On his arrival, the Prime Minister was welcomed by the President of the associations and the District Council, Mr. Abdurrahman Mohammed Hamid, and the President of the Commune of Balbala, Aden Mohamed Ahmed, the Minister of Housing, Amin Abdi, the Minister of Women and Family, Moumina Mohamed Hassan. The responsible peoples and neighborhood were the first to across the first with all honors and in a festive atmosphere animated by the young folklore groups for all communities living in perfect harmony in the Salama neighborhood. For his part, the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed thanked the population of the city of Salama for the warm welcome and welcomed the involvement of the inhabitants in the management of the city thanks to a dynamic association. A city, according to the Prime Minister, which is can become an example for other districts. Listen to the Prime Minister.
Merci de nous avoir accueillis à cet endroit, dans cette cité magnifique qui a maintenant une année d'âge.
Thank you for teaching us about this place in this beautiful city, which is now a year old. It is true that the most of the sites that were built before have all, I can't say that missing, but they're in a pitiful state. This city has been preserved. It has been preserved because first the Ministry of Housing has organized what is called the Sidnik of the costs of co-ownership. Then there is a very dynamic association which has been set up and which has organized the inhabitants of the city in such a way that they must preserve the property in their city to the fullest extent. I have asked a number of things and we will bring them and they will not lack the government's support in this area. And I would like to tell you a little bit about the history of this city. At the time of its construction, the President of the Republic had taken a challenge to build housing for the population at very low prices, and it has been an example for the companies that earn their living. This is the reason why the price has been fixed per square meter, and this is how this city was built with its technical and financial support. And this is the reason why today those mentioned were born with such a property. We will say that this city is an example for the future housing which is already under construction. And I would like to add also the associations which took in hand of property of the city. And I would like first of all to thank them and say to them that it's necessary in their turn now to advise the other inhabitants of the cities which are already built or in the course of construction. Thank you for your attention.
As a token of thanks for sponsoring the ceremony of the first anniversary of Salama city, the population of Salama present a gift to the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed in the presence of the member of government, a gift given by the associations of the city, presided over by Mr. Abdul Rahim Muhammad Hamid, very involved in the management of the city, which has been asked to provide its expertise to other cities and neighborhoods. Afterward, Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, always accompanied by a member of government, the representative of UNFT and officials of the city went to the square for a tree planting ceremony. These actions will improve life in the city of Salama to enhance the stays of residents and especially children. Finally, the former held brief meetings with the officials of the Salama City Association. On the occasion of the first anniversaries of Salama, in addition to the ceremony this morning presided over by the Prime Minister, associations of the inhabitants of the city, in particular the Association of Women of Salama City, organizes a special evening for women to celebrate the event on the Abdallah Lake campus of the Salama City. The event was sponsored by the Minister of Housing, Amina Abdi, in the presence of the Minister of Women and Family, Momina Ahmed Hassan, the Vice President of UNFT, Hassan Ahmed Bilil, the Mayor of the Djibouti City, Fatuma Awali Osman, and the representative of the Council of the City, Salama. The women of the Salama district have mobilized to participate in the event organized on the occasion of the first anniversary of the city, where all the community live in a pleasant environment thanks to the social housing policy initiated by President Gele. Atmosphere was cheerful and electric during the evening, animated by the RTD band and with a special song dedicated to the First Lady. The satisfaction of the city's family was palpable. The Mayor of Djibouti, Fatuma Awali Osman, and the Vice President of UNFT, Hassan Ahmed Bilil, took the opportunity to highlight a successful example of community life in the city of Salama, a city whose launch was initiated by the President and which plans the cost to improve access to decent housing for Djiboutian families. The Vice President conveyed the greetings of the First Lady Khadra Mahmoud Haid, who follows the evolutions of the life of the families and Salama city. All the community live in harmony in this city. It is a proof of the strengthening unity and constant in the policy of the President of the Republic, who was always giving priority to unity between the different communities. The Women Minister itself, Momina Ahmed Hassan, thanked the organizers of the evening and said that women have a leading role in the life of the city, and the Salama city is a successful example of community harmony. She also conveyed the President's greetings to all those in attendance who attend the evening of the first anniversaries of this exemplary district. She thanked President and politics and for promoting access to social housing, the success of which is palpable in this neighborhood. The remarkable management of the district management committee and the families in this city is an example that must be renewed in the other districts and cities. And the Minister of Housing, Amina Abdi, took the floor for the evening of the celebrations of the first anniversary of the city, Salama. She was pleased to participate in the event organized by the associations of women of the city in a very friendly atmosphere. The Djibouti Athletics Federation has organized the 21 sessions of the 50 kilometers race of Djibouti Telecom yesterday afternoon at 16 p.m. This race is divided into three parts: the 15 kilometer, 8 kilometers, and 5 kilometers, by the presence of the President of the Djibouti Athletics Federation, Mr. Said, the Vice President, Mr. Omar Mhabe, and the General Managers of Djibouti Telecom, Mr. Mohamed Assowe Bouh, the international coach of the Djiboutian athletes, Mr. Said Hassan Ali, and all the responsible of the athletes were present for the runner from the different participating institutions such as Djibouti Armed Forces, GR, National Gendarmerie, and National Policies, the FFDG, and individual participants. This race was run in three categories: 15 kilometers for men, 8 kilometers for men, and 5 kilometers for women. Finally, the winners were won by the times of 5 kilometers girls Habon Ahmed Jama from the centers of the university with a time of 15 minutes. The next Samia Hassan Noor from the Egyptian Armed Forces, and with the times of 18 minutes. The third place is Khadra Mahmoud Dembil with a time of 18 minutes. For the winners of 8 kilometers, the first place were ensured by Hassan Idli Dirane from GR, and with a time of 21 minutes. The next Abdurrahman Suge, also from GR, with a time of 22 minutes, and the third place was also broken by the same athlete from the centers of GR, Hamza Ali Hassan, 22 minutes. The first 50 kilometers were broken by the first 5 of the Republican Guard. In the end of the famous 50-kilometer champions of the year, the victory was broken by Jamal Abdi Diriye and the National Police Forces, who assured his first place by a time of 41 minutes. The second place is by Ibrahim Hassan Bouha, GR, made a time of 45 minutes, and the third, fourth places were ensured by the athletes of the National Police, Hassan Wais, who made in this race pass with a time of 45 minutes in these days of the 15 kilometers of Djibouti Telecom. The production team was this weekend in the Dakhel region to record a broadcast for the programs. RTD renew its experience in producing localizing emissions in the region. The production team, composed of the technician and producers, went to this weekend to Dakhel city to record the programs Uri Barito for children. The programs, which started a few months ago, is shoot in the district to that the children can participate in the productions, going from the status of simple spectator to a that of actors of the program, in the same ways as the animators and the technician. The Esplanade of Dakhel Prefecture was used as a studio set for the Uri Barito shows, hosted on Thursdays evening by the host, the animators Mariam Buha. About 100 students participate and answer various questions concerning culture, history, religion. At the end of the ceremony, children who answered the questionnaire received a award. The program Uri Barito presents succeeded thanks to the support of the prefect of the region, Aden Darar Musa, and the Dakhel Education Inspectorate. The customs of Tajura region is orchestrated by Kilani Shahem, head of the northern sectors, in collaboration with the National Army of Tajura, says that 400 kilograms of cotton contraband smuggled from Ethiopia to the sub-prefectures of Dora. The prefect commended the customs teams and the Tajura National Army for the noble act carried out to secure the region. He recalled that the harms resulting from smuggling, which generate harmful activities for the countries by introducing legal products such as drug. The Director General Guled Ahmed Yusuf thanked the armed forces of Tajura city, led by Colonel Adi Shehem, for the collaborations and congratulated the customs agents. The official opening of the first branch of the Siad Auto School in the interior regions in Al Sabih, the ceremony held at the headquarters of the regional council brought together the prefect of the region, Mr. Musa Adan Migane, the vice president of the regional council, Mr. Nur Said Geldon, the directors of Siad Auto School, Mr. Liban Mohammed, the president of the ASCAS Annex, Mr. Mohammed Ahmed Ibrahim, the director of Day Agency, Mr. Faisal Hassan, the different decentralized services, members of the civil society, young people, the elders of Asajog region. Is no need to travel to this capital to get a driver's license anymore. Asajogs who want to learn and pass their driver's license in the region, in collaborations with the prefectures of the region, the data agencies partners of the Triada driving schools in Djibouti has taken the initiative to bring the driving license process closer to the region. The relocations of the Women National Handball Championship for the 2020 season under the aegis of the National Handball Federation, the regional branch of the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport of Dakhel, hosted this Friday, January the 30th, the Dakhel Sports Complex, a match opposing the women teams of the Republican Guard to that of the Dakhel. Indeed, it is the first of its kind that a matches of the national championship has just taken place in one of the regions of the interior, and for that we thank and encourage the leaders of the federations of this discipline to persevere in moving forward, in addition to the clubs and delegations of the National Handball Federations led by its president, the local authorities, including the prefect, Mr. Adan Ndrar Musa, the president of the regional council, Mr. Abdurrahman Yunus Arre, the officials of the regional sub-directorate and of the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, Dakhel, as well as the crowd of supporters took part in this meeting. Despite the crowd of supporters, FC Dakhel was defeated by the GR team. For the international scene, the Union Jack descended into darkness of Brussels. The British flag was removed from the European institutions on Friday. Listen to the report.
Into the darkness of Brussels, the British flag was removed from the European institutions on Friday. The European Council launched the ceremony, followed by the two seats of the European Parliament in Brussels and Strasbourg. And everywhere, the same solemn atmosphere. In Parliament, it was the European star flag that replaced them. At the end of the afternoon, the European flag was removed from the front of the British representation to the EU. It was hosted on Scotland House, the seat of the Scottish government in the European capital. Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said she wanted the best possible partnership with the UK, although she said there will always be a difference. Belonging to the Union is something that matters. French President Emmanuel Macron called Brexit a shock and a historic wake-up call.
This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.